But I say unto you, love your enemies. Bless them that curse you. Do good to them that hate you. And pray. But I say unto you, love your enemies. Bless them that curse you. Do good to them that hate you. And pray for them which despitefully use you and persecute you.
Which is the first commandment of all?
Hear, O Israel, the Lord our God is one Lord. Thou shalt love the Lord thy God with all thy heart, and with all thy soul, and with all thy might, and with all thy strength. This is the first and great commandment, and the second is like unto it. Thou shalt love thy neighbor as thyself. On these two commandments hang all the law and the prophets.
Master, thou hast said the truth. There is one God, and none other but He. And to love Him with all the heart, and with all the understanding, and with all the soul, and with all the strength, and to love his neighbor as himself, is more than all the whole burnt offerings and sacrifices.
Thou art not far from the kingdom of God.
Yoo-hoo! Alive! Good evening, peoples. Good evening. We're live again. Another Tuesday. Another live. Not that it's anything new, because I'm live every day. But I'm not live every Tuesday night, except from 3 months onwards ago. I never used to be anyway. But anyway, yeah, we're live again with the continuation of it. It's the second part of, can't remember the dude's name again. Jay Jordan, yeah, from last week. And of it, it's called Unholy Communion. I think it's getting to the Nephilim sort of thing. I haven't watched it. Michael's watched it. I haven't watched it all the way through, that's for sure. I like watching it with you guys sort of thing and coming across it, whatever it's got to present, you know what I mean? So, yeah, we've just got the second part. It's got a fair bit to go. I think we only got about 18, 20 minutes in, something like that. So it's a fair bit to go. So it's going to take it might take a few goes at it. I don't know. There might be some bits we need to skip. I don't know. I'm not sure. But we'll just carry on. We'll just carry on and see how it goes, guys. You know what I mean? You know what I mean?
Word
up. Hello to the people in the YouTube chat. We have Jeff Conkle, Ryan S., Sergio Better Than Gold, Michael Kahn, Barry Ross so far, and chilling. I think that's Ian, but I might know it was Ian Henry anyway. Thanks guys for turning up. It's always a pleasure to spend time with you. And to the panel, we've got Cookie Master, we've got Michael Kahn, we've got Jeff, and we did have Vicky. Where's Vicky gone? Vicky was here. 2 seconds. She's
run away.
I don't know if she's dropped out intentionally or if she's got kicked out.
She's mad again.
Okay. 2 seconds.
What'd you do this time?
So I'll just put myself on mute a second. 2 seconds. You can't talk amongst yourselves.
Okay. You didn't give us a topic.
Spends more time on mute.
Yeah. So
when
I'm thinking of doing Jubilees after Jasher.
Cool.
Yeah.
Wow.
But I'm actually really enjoying reading it, though. It's
really interesting, Jasher. It's like so much extra information.
Yeah, it is. Yeah. And the thing is, like in the Bible that I'm reading, it I didn't know that Eve's name was Eve Canoe or whatever. That's just say, or yeah,
Pretty good.
that's just sick.
Knucklehead.
No, not Knucklehead.
Knucklehead.
It's
Knucklehead. It's
and Abel is Havel, right?
who what?
Yeah, it's Eve Kua.
Eve Kua.
Yeah,
Eve
Kua.
Kua?
Yeah,
Okay. Cool.
Eve Kua, life giver. That's what it
Nice.
means.
Awesome.
And Abel is Havel, or Havel.
Yeah.
Havel. Yeah, I haven't gone into the pronunciations of the words.
Hey, Crockett, Jeff. We're just waiting on PJ's. I'm on a phone call with Vicky.
I go off camera too.
Hey?
You should probably go off camera too.
What the hell is he talking about over there? Gee whiz.
Looks like he's getting frustrated.
He's mad. Somebody might. I watch him come back all happy and smiley face, like, yeah. He'll be like, "What are you mad about?" I'm not mad. That's what they all say. Got a question? Let's connect. Ooh. Access better.
Jeff says trouble in paradise.
What
Yeah,
is
you
going
better off
on?
camera.
I hope that's not him and Vicky talking.
Yeah, it is.
What the heck? Wow.
So how's everybody doing in
Sorry, guys, I'll be in a sec.
chat? How's everybody doing in chat?
Yeah, hello.
Well, I'm doing okay.
Yeah, me too.
I'm doing pretty good today. Pretty good. Yeah.
And the news I told you yesterday, Michael, is confirmed. So
Cool.
yeah. So,
No way.
which is my wife's pretty excited about. And so
I can imagine.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know how much longer I can stay on here because I gotta get back to work here. So
I wonder if I should just play a video.
maybe.
I think I can. I don't know if I can. I can. I don't know whether to play it or not, though, because it's not.
Well, all you do is hit present, right? And
Right, so it's already there. The button.
Oh.
There is a play button, but
Yeah, sorry, guys. Sorry about that.
You're careful.
It's not very long. Anyway, I'll just start playing this. Oh, wrong one.
yeah, I got to take off here.
Where you
so.
can be called
Sorry,
self
Jeff.
trying to
See you later, Jeff.
I did hear you saying that. There's nothing I could do about it. She's not feeling well, and there's other things as well. But I'm not going to mention it right here.
Yeah, no worries.
All
Yeah,
right.
I got to take off here, so I got to get back to work here.
No.
So, all right.
Bless you,
God
man.
bless.
I'm sorry about that.
No worries, and that's all good. All right, have a good one.
I think we're about 80 minutes in. I've got to play it from there. I've got to quickly phone her back. I'll put myself on mute. Michael knows. Michael can stop it if need be. That'll only be 2 minutes. I just need to try and sort something out. 2 seconds, guys. Sorry about this.
So,
Report, and they'd like to talk to you and see if you'd like to work in giving them information face to face on the investigation. The sighting reports that come in every year, this is what I get on a monthly basis as a director. It's a report showing the countries and the sighting reports that have come in. You see the U.S. leads most everybody by a large amount, hundreds. And this is on a monthly basis. A lot of reports. Then it breaks it down to state, how many per state. Remember, monthly basis. And then you'll see shape of objects, and it breaks it down to the different described shapes. This all comes from that submittal of your report. This information's gleaned from
I like our most popular shape, sphere.
that.
Right.
Another category, distance from the witness. You'll be putting that information in. If you're looking for a chapter local to where you live, they have a page that you can go to, look up by state, by country, and you can actually get a hold of people that are local to you. These are all on the MUFON.com website. All of these pages I'm showing you here. This is a live UFO map that they have on their website. You can go here at any time. As
Yeah, Jeff, reflection of Venus on some swamp gas.
Yeah,
new
there you go.
reports come in, they'll pop up and populate on the map. This is the actual headquarters in Irvine, California. There's your contact number for reporting a UFO if you're doing it by phone. There's your location, how to get to the headquarters. If you're ever there, you want to stop in and visit, they welcome that. There's a lot to MUFON. Over the years, we used to do field investigation reports about 10 pages long. It was all in paper form. I had to fill them out with a pen. I had to mail them all in to MUFON. All of this was done old school. The way it's done now is fantastic. Everything's quick time, real time. Just recently, we've set up a Facebook page called MUFON Global that I've helped work with and get it set up. It was a Facebook page that was already being used. They wanted to use the MUFON name. Helped them get in contact with Jan Harzan. Jan approved it with oversight from MUFON members. What we wanted to do was make it available where people could come to and talk to MUFON members real time, anywhere in the world, because Facebook's up and running all the time. When we first had the idea and established MUFON Global, we had about 7,000 members in the group already when they went to the name MUFON Global. Just in the past 3 months, it's jumped up to over 20,000. So it's getting some attention. One of the things that required as a state section director when I was there in Brevard County, and also as a director, they want you to hold monthly meetings. And you don't charge for them. It's open to the public. They want you to be able to reach the public, share with them what we're doing as a MUFON group and organization, and give them the opportunity to participate and become members of MUFON themselves. This is one of the posts that I had in the newspaper, the local newspaper, the Florida Today, where I would advertise, our monthly meetings. I used to use the public library. This is the Space Coast, the area where I was living. That's Brevard County, you see there, that I was state section director for. There's the public library that we used to hold our monthly meetings in. And when I first had the first meeting, put a sign up, said, UFO meeting, free to public. Be careful when you do that. You get all sorts of people in there. I had all sorts of displays. I actually had hair at one time. I used to bring in as much stuff as I could share for the public, you know. And then after a while, you get regulars coming in that want to, you know, come to your group, and they start sharing stuff that they've collected over the years. So it was pretty neat because every month something different would show up to put on the tables, you know, to be able to share with other people. It's a great social activity. If anything else, you want to become involved with a group of people, interesting group of people to talk to, you know, to work with, people that believe in this phenomenon. Similar type of things we used to do with the group. I started listening to people's stories. And there were some interesting stories that would come in. The thing is, a lot of the people were coming in there looking for help. And they thought that, well, we were the specialists. We were MUFON. We'd have answers for them. We didn't have the answers. We were looking for the answers ourselves. But we listened to their stories, and they were quite fascinating. And some of the stories that we started to listen to were people that not just had sighting reports, but were claiming the alien abduction experience. The terms alien abduction or abduction phenomenon describe subjectively real memories of being taken secretly against one's will by apparently non-human entities and subjected to complex physical and psychological procedures. Such abductions have sometimes been classified as close encounters of the fourth kind. If you're familiar with Close Encounters of the Third Kind, the movie, that was referring to physical contact. Close Encounters of the Fourth Kind represents abductions. People claiming to have been abducted are usually called abductees or experiencers. Due to a lack of objective physical evidence, most scientists and mental health professionals dismiss the phenomenon as deception, suggestibility, fantasy proneness, people being able to be susceptible to hypnotism, false memory syndrome, personality sleep paralysis, psychopathology, psychodynamics, and environmental factors. All of these things are part of what leads to people to believe they have had this abduction experience. As an investigator, I can't just take a story for what I hear. I have to be able to rule out, remember the scientific investigative method, rule out everything. And
Hey, JP, how's it going, mate?
see what you end up with in the end. So I have to make sure that.
Are you back?
Yeah, I'm back. Sorry about that, guys. I'm just trying to sort some out. She's not feeling well, but she's just upset about something as well, which is silly. It's silly. But it doesn't matter. I'm not going to get into it because I don't want her thinking I'm just talking about her when her back's done sort of thing. But yeah, she is feeling not well. But my point was you could have said bye. You know what I mean? You didn't just disappear and then expect me. Oh, it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. Let's just carry on.
Yeah, just carry on, mate.
They're not dealing with all of these other issues and then see what's left. If none of this stuff fits them, then they've got something going on that is unexplained. Skeptic Robert Schaefer sees similarity between the aliens depicted in science fiction films, in particular, Invaders from Mars, and some of those reported to have actually abducted people, which is a correlation that's been questioned all along. We formed CE Research Group to work with our abduction experiencers there that we were coming across in our meetings. The reason for that is, back in the early 90s, MUFON wasn't really set up to handle the abduction experience. They were looking at the UFO sighting experience because they could look at that scientifically and break it down and do scientific research. There were a couple people representing MUFON that were looking at abductions. One was John Carpenter at the time. He was one of the early ones working with MUFON on abductions. But we realized that we had no special format to work on, to work by, when we started questioning these abductees. So we set up a separate organization, and what we did was made sure that everything was public, all of our findings, and we offered it to MUFON to be able to review at any time. But we wanted to make sure we separated ourselves from MUFON because it was an area that MUFON really wasn't set up to cover. The one thing I did do when we switched and formed CE4 Research is I brought along my field investigators that were working with me at the time, and I required them to be MUFON members and trained investigators so that we would be able to build credibility to CE4 Research and in the research that we were doing. We wanted people to understand that we were doing it the right way. To understand the abduction experience, I'm going to look at the late Dr. Carla Turner, who was an experiencer herself. She was convinced that the aliens were here.
Sorry guys, I know there's not much talking that, but he's explaining stuff, and as you noticed from last week, there's a lot of kind of this before it gets into it, like Michael says. So if we don't say much, it's because there's not much to say before it gets into the meat of it anyway. And it's good to get a bit of it played through because it is quite a long video anyway, you know.
Not to help us out, but to steal from us the sovereignty of our souls. Two traits she had come to conclude characterized alien behavior above all: deceitfulness and cruelty. The experiences were uniformly disturbing. Often they were cruel.
See, that's an alarm bell in itself, you know, the act deceitful and cruel. You know, it's like these, like, would to believe that these higher beings come from so far away and they're so far advanced, you know what I mean? That they won't be cruel and deceitful, would they? You know what I mean? They'd be above that.
Aye, of course, absolutely.
You would expect that, yeah.
Well, yeah, that's what you'd expect, like.
Inflicting physical and mental pain on the abductees. On account of a pulling action by the aliens, a third victim sustained a spinal injury so severe that her doctor warned her.
I'm just saying, like sorry, it's totally off topic, but the name of the channel, CE4 Research, it sounds like some kind of explosive kind of research, isn't it? CE4.
It could prove permanent.
I think it stands for Close
Traumatized.
Encounters for, like.
Oh yeah, of course, yeah, that makes sense. That makes sense now. Close Encounters of the fourth kind instead of the third kind.
Yeah, for just mainly focuses on abductees.
Got ya. Nice.
Physical problems were accompanied by the usual emotional trauma of the abductees: confusion, terror, paranoia, ambivalence, the terrors of the abduction experience. Aliens can take us.
You know, when you read Enoch,
Yeah,
and it tells you about spirits at Nephilim, how they'll, like, what they'll do to humanity, like that literally sounds exactly like what he just described.
aye, absolutely. And I mean, like, you get these, like, I know you get these flat earthers and that believe in extra lands and all that. I just like people don't know the difference out there. Like, when you get flat earthers saying things about aliens, they're kind of equating it with sci-fi aliens, you know what I mean? But they're on about different lands that we have no evidence for, and possibly different people from them lands. I don't know why that came to my head. I got a pic when you said something, oh my God, I just got a picture of them outer lands that we've got no evidence for. Do you know what I mean? Just in case anybody ever comes across that, and you hear of flat earthers talking about aliens. In general, they're not talking about, unless they've got a belief in the Bible and stuff like that. Obviously, they could be talking about Nephilim and stuff like that.
But the main issue for that for me is these things are described as coming from sky.
Well, that's it. That's it. That's right. That's it. Vicky said thanks to everyone at Worcester well in chat, but I think so. Yeah. Cheers, babe. Thanks for that. I just wanted to let people know that you're all right. You know what I mean? Basically. Okay.
Our consciousness out of our physical bodies, disable our control of our bodies, install one of their own entities, and use our bodies as vehicles for their own activities before returning our consciousness to our bodies. Some people say that
That sounds like possession, does it not?
Sounds very much so like possession to me, where you've got no control of your body, you can't move. It sounds like that. It sounds like my what you call it, sleep paralysis. Yeah, exactly. And I've experienced that a couple of times. Yes, it might be explained like it might feel like you're coming out of a dream into reality, but you're being pulled back in. But at the same time, there is a weight down on you, and you cannot move. You can't even move your tongue properly. So to me, that sounds like a demon where they don't want you to say something like Jesus, maybe. You know what I mean? Like the name of Jesus. Yeah. It's kind of things they do,
they transform, that they mutate or change their own real forms. I don't accept that as accurate. I don't believe that they really look like a blonde and they do something to trick you and then they suddenly look like a reptilian. I think what they alter is human perception. They certainly can project false images. Aliens have forced their human abductees to have sexual intercourse with aliens and even with other abductees while groups of aliens observe these performances.
Now, does that sound like alien? Like, well, no aliens are, but I mean, of your stereotypical. Is that what an alien would want you to do? Do you know what I mean? Have group orgies? No, it sounds like something that a demon would certainly want you to do. Have a group orgy.
That's what I was thinking too.
Yeah. Some kind of ritual of some sort. Guessing at this point, I think it's an estimated guess.
Such encounters, these aliens have sometimes disguised themselves in order to gain the cooperation of the abductee, appearing in such forms as Jesus, the Pope, certain celebrities, and even the dead spouses of the abductees.
Sorry, Jeff Gossett. I didn't know that either. Totally off topic again, but Ian says, didn't know there was one. Is there a title for it? And I realised what he's saying is Alien 1 book is fantastic. I didn't know there was an Alien book at all. I just thought it was a movie straight away. I didn't know there was one. Like Ian said, it's interesting.
Mainstream scientists reject the claims that the phenomenon literally occurs as reported. However, there is little doubt that many apparently stable persons who report alien abductions believe their experiences are real. As reported in the Harvard University Gazette in 1992, Dr. Johnny Mack reports that of the 60 cases of claimed abductees he had worked on, that after a battery of psychological tests, no psychiatric or psychosocial explanation for these reports is evident. These people are not mentally ill.
Well, I don't entirely agree with that. I mean, some of them might. I don't believe in, like, there's a lot of Christians that believe that there is no such thing as mental illness whatsoever, that it's all the demonic. I do believe demons can use mental illness, but I don't believe it's all demonic. I do believe there is chemical imbalances in being where you can get mental illness of some sort. I don't believe that every mental illness is demonic possession or demon influence, but there's definitely both. In my head, there's definitely both. Not literally in my head. There's definitely demons and mental illness. No, that could have
You
been
mean
true.
in your head then?
Yes, it could have been true at one point, but yeah, I don't think that all mental illness is demonic. That there's no such thing as mental illness. Yes, I believe that demons can use mental illness, but I don't necessarily think that that just because demons exist that then all mental illness is done away with. You know what I mean? I definitely think there's the two. You know, my opinion.
Right.
Because I heard somebody else said this the other day from another one. It was Stephen Darby, the one I've been putting on lately. Stephen Darby, the one that passed away a few years ago, and he said the same thing as well. And I'm like, no, I'm not. I don't agree with that. I don't completely agree with that. I believe it's a big factor. Then, like a lot of people who have got some kind of demons influence them think they're mentally ill when actually they're not. But I do believe in mental illness. You know what I mean?
And also, there's other like altercations, like other like illnesses in your body that can cause your mind, like you can get an infection and be hallucinating and stuff.
Delirious,
Like,
yes,
you know what I mean?
absolutely right, absolutely. And even from the symptoms of certain things, you can become delirious, and then that can lead on to mental illness or even demonic possession. It happens, and demons have got to use any which way possible in. You know what I mean? Any which way possible to get in. I think anyway.
Although different cases vary in detail, sometimes significantly, some UFO researchers, such as folklorist Thomas E. Bullard, argue that there is a broad, fairly consistent sequence and description of events that make up the typical close encounter of the fourth kind, a popular but unofficial designation building on Dr. J.
There you go, right there. Close encounter of the fourth kind. Cool. I wish I knew that earlier because I was thinking to myself last week, I don't know why they call myself CU for, you know, because it does sound like an explosive tonight, but yeah, of the fourth kind. Perfect.
Allen Hynek's classifications. That's where that close encounter, first kind, second kind, third kind, fourth kind, and on. Though the features outlined next are often reported, there is some disagreement as to exactly how often they actually occur. Bullard argues most abduction accounts feature the following events. They generally follow the sequence noted below, though not all abductions feature all of the events. Starts out with capture. The abductee is somehow rendered incapable of resisting, taken from the terrestrial surroundings to an apparent alien spacecraft. Followed by examination and procedure. Followed by conference. The abductors communicate with the abductee. Talk about tour. The abductees are given a tour of the captor's vessel.
Because yeah, Roger's messaged me in Messenger. Why didn't you just come in, Roger? I think he's just woke up because he had the grandkids last night. I'm thinking, stop messaging me in Messenger, just get your butt in. Yeah.
Why
Yeah, he
don't
did.
why
Yeah,
don't
his hands
Roger
were-
join Element? Like,
I know. Why? That's a good. Why don't they join
He
Element?
is an element. He's an element.
What Roger is?
I convinced him to.
is
He's
Oh.
an element.
Okay.
I have his address, but I don't have it like right this second. But I could get it.
Oh, okay. Cool.
Yeah.
Cool. I didn't know that.
Yeah, he's on there.
Loss
I
of
convinced him.
time,
Cool.
always common with the abduction experience. Abductees often rapidly forget the majority of their experience. And then the return. The abductees are returned to.
I know why. It's because QE's covering his story with Duffy, so he says he'll come over in a bit. I think it's because QE's covering his story and that.
Oh,
Yeah, nice one, Roger. Nice one, dude. See you in a little bit.
Earth, occasionally in a different location from where they were allegedly taken, or with new injuries or disheveled clothing. Theophany. Coinciding with their immediate return, abductees may have a profound sense of love, a high, similar to those induced by certain drugs or a mystical experience, accompanied by a feeling of oneness with God, the universe, or their abductors. Whether this is the result of a metaphysical change, Stockholm Syndrome, or prior medical tampering is often not scrutinized by the abductees at the time. And then aftermath. The abductee must cope with the psychological, physical, and social effects of the experience. Unlike what we see on...
That's true. They do. I mean, like I said last week, and I say when these things come up, I don't believe in aliens. I don't believe that there's real spacecraft out there. I believe the government might experiment with certain kinds of craft and that. And I do believe that people have these experiences. And some people are lying. Some people, I'd say, are mentally ill. But some people, not all of them are lying about it. Some people are having these experiences and obviously thinking it's aliens when in fact it's demons. My opinion, I think it's demons. But these people are thinking it's aliens, you know?
Mm-hmm.
My opinion. But, here's Roger now. Hey, Roger.
Hello.
How you doing, brother? You good?
I'm good. Thank you.
Groovy, sir. Groovy.
How's the show going so far?
Yeah, it's all right. It started off a bit dodgy. Vicky wasn't very well, so I'd say like the guys were trying to talk. Just as I went live, she ended up not being very well, so the guys had to kind of fill in for me while I'm on the phone chat, sort of thing. So it's all right now, but I mean, it started off a bit dodgy, but it's all good. It's all good. What are you saying? What's did you say QE's covering your story with Duffy and that?
Yeah, he went through my part already, so I'm good.
Okay, cool.
But
well, you know the
it
score.
seems like
Yeah, come on.
there's one thing about the Pastor Duffy and his old pastor. It kind of reminds me of you know who Tahoe Brahe is?
I've heard the name. Yeah. Okay, just so we know who it is.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, remember Galileo and him?
Yeah.
What Galileo did that's pretty much what it looks like happened. It took a spot. You know what I'm saying? That's all. They're it got boring after a while. So I've seen it already.
Hi to Mike. He just come in, so I've totally forgot about checking the chat. Just JP. I think Michael said hello to him anyway. Mike and Mike Van Dyke and Goku came in.
Yeah, I see Goku.
Yeah, and Jeff Gossett probably came in a bit later. I don't know. But hiya, guys.
Is he a Super Saiyan?
So I don't watch none of that stuff, so I don't know. When you say these things, like I've seen that Super Saiyan and all that before. It's a guy with blonde hair in it or something. I don't know, but
well, they transform in from Saiyans to Super Saiyans. They're the whole thing changes. Their hair, their color. Yeah.
It's one thing. It doesn't interest me. It's anime whatsoever. It doesn't interest me at all. I know it interests a lot of people.
Sandro.
Good to see you, Sandro. Good to see you, bro. Good to see you, man. Yeah, let's go.
I'm going to be leaving you in about 10 minutes. I got to work. Sorry.
Yeah, man. No problems, dude. I know that. You're always working. Yeah. Bless, man. Bless.
TV
no problem.
and movies. This is starting to sound like a unpleasant experience. Do you agree?
Actually, it must be weird for people because everybody, like when Jono comes in, when Sandro, everybody's like, "Where's Khan?" or "Khan." I'm like, "Yeah, he's still working." So
he's not working today. He's suntanned today.
Yeah, he's
sunbathing.
Yeah, he's back with the crew, rested. You know what I mean? He has been working hard, man. I've seen the photos, and he's done a lot of work to that place with for that man. Done a lot of work, and it's I bet, like you said, you lost a lot of weight, man. The big tan he's got on his neck, wow, man, it's unbelievable. I couldn't tan like that if I laid out for a whole. Yeah.
We'll call him Pieball.
Yeah, I will.
Chocolate cyan neck.
That's funny.
But lost weight as well, which is a good thing. It's a good thing. Always a good thing. Unless you're skinny. Skinny is not so good.
Skinny like jerky, tanned like it.
Yeah.
Hey, Ryan.
Like jerky. up?
Oh, she's
It's a Slim Jim.
she was here. She was here a second ago, but she's not very well. So she's in bed. She's not very well tonight.
Tell her I liked her short.
Something that
Oh yeah, that short. It was yeah. She put it out there, but it was really just made for Spud, because Spud wanted to know the flowers and all that. But yeah. She put it out there.
And bees too.
Yeah. Plenty of bees. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
you really don't want to happen. Trauma and recovery. Most people alleging alien abductions report invasive examinations of their bodies, and some ascribe psychological trauma to their experiences. Post-abduction syndrome is a term used by abductees to describe the effects of abduction, though it is not recognized by any professional treatment organizations. People who have a false memory, which makes them believe that they have been abducted by aliens, develop symptoms similar to post-traumatic stress disorder. This is what we were seeing when these people started coming to our meetings. The first thing I realized right off as these people were telling us their stories is these are very unhappy people. Very.
Well, yeah, with them.
I would be too.
Not being able to do anything
I would
about
be
it.
dragged out at bed in middle at night and tampered with. I'd be filming.
Exactly. And it's so scary because you can't do nothing about it. You're trying, praying, and nothing's happening. Or what? You might not be a believer or whatever, but you're trying things to stop it, like not going to sleep, like praying, like getting people to stay with you, or be with you while you experience it. And it still happens. You know what I mean? Of course, it's got to be scary. The only answer is Christ. It's the only answer. And there is scary things in this world that we're going to go through. Not everybody will, but some people do.
Not as scary as our.
Yeah, and the only answer to any of it is Jesus. Yeah. The only answer to any of it is Jesus. You know, Carl and Roger gone.
Yeah, and not as scary as our government. That's all I got to say.
Well,
they do all kinds of stuff. Yeah.
No, absolutely not.
It is.
Ow.
Ryan?
Oh, sorry, I just hurt myself.
Oh.
I said, ow.
Ow. I thought you were saying ow. Ow.
No, I said, ow. I laid my leg against this box and it's got a sharp corner and I didn't realize it. And then after, you know how you lay your arm or something on something that's sharp, you don't realize it at first, but then after it's been sitting there, I pull my leg away and it's like, ah. You know, like there's this big old dent in the side of my leg. It's like, and it hurts like heck. It's like, yeah. That's what I was doing.
Well, Michael's got some glue. He can come over and fix it for you.
Nice. Super glue, huh?
Okay, so you're in our Roger.
It's a special type of man glue, Ryan.
Man glue. I want to show you
man glue.
It's called gravity.
Gravity. Yeah, which you would be gravity, wouldn't you?
Yeah, so you're in Element with Roger.
Am I?
Yeah, right.
Are you
I'm not in Element. No, I'm on Facebook. Or not Facebook, but
Oh, okay.
You did join Element because I talked to you on the phone through Element. Remember when I called you? That's Element.
There you go. That's Element. If he called you an Element, that's Element. Or it might be called the Matrix.
You just don't remember. Yeah.
It's through a thing called the Matrix. People get confused with it. Element's the art, but Matrix is like the company that does that thing or whatever. That's basically like.
I got you.
Yeah.
Very unhappy people. They came to us hoping that we had an answer to what they were dealing with, to something that they couldn't stop. People who believe they have been abducted by aliens usually have previous New Age beliefs, a vivid fantasy life, and suffer from sleep paralysis. And this is according to a 2003 study by Harvard University. I became entirely given over to extreme dread. The fear was so powerful that it seemed to make my personality completely evaporate. Whitley,
Wow.
ceased to exist.
What happened?
What was left was a body in a state of raw fear, so
Okay.
great that it swept about me like a thick, suffocating curtain, turning paralysis into a condition that seemed close to death. I died, and a wild animal appeared in my place. This is Whitley Strieber from his New York Times.
That's a good description. I mean, that's well described. Put there about what was happening. I died and something else took my place, because it gets you that scared. It's like it's not you. It's like, yes, we get scared of things in life, but if you get something that terrifies you that much,
Your brain
like,
shuts down. Yeah,
yes.
you go into shock.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah.
maybe David Icke should have did that one instead of becoming a son of God. That would have been better.
Well, yeah. So exactly. Sandra says, hold on, let me just stick up there. Sandra says, I had the exact same experience as you, and Jesus saved me when I was finally able to call upon. Yeah, me too, dude. I couldn't even say Jesus. I couldn't say it. It was like, it was just garble. I had to say it in my head. And it still worked. But yeah, some people do have that experience where they can't see it at all, but when they're finally able to scream it, it works. But I had to do it in my head. It just wasn't coming out. And I've had experiences like that where I'm not sure if that's what's happening, but I've called on Jesus just in case, and it's worked. You know.
Nice.
Yeah, absolutely.
Well, I'm gonna go to work, guys. I'll be listening to you.
Bless you, man. Nice one for turning up good.
Enjoy the
Go to work then, sir.
Work.
You ever seen Blazing Saddles?
Work, busy,
How you been,
chop,
boys?
bang, bang. Work, busy, chop, bang, bang.
Bing, bang, bang.
If you get a chance, everybody out there, go watch the governor scene with Mel Brooks and Blazing Saddles. It's funny as hell.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, man.
I'll see you guys later. Hey, have fun.
And that used to be funny and not racist. Well, I don't know. Maybe it was.
You know, it
It was
did.
racist, dude.
Funny.
It's not racist. It's not racist. It is racist.
No,
Maybe it is racist. Maybe it isn't. Hey,
It's supposed to be though. That's what makes it funny.
That was the fun of it.
Mocking and making fun of how people used to supposedly act. Supposedly. Now we don't know any of those things because we weren't there, but we just have to take everybody else's word for it.
Of course. I found it funny. My dad found it funny. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I laughed. I used to watch it all the time. I thought it was hilarious.
Yeah, of course.
But I knew it wasn't like I could make those jokes in front of
course,
other people. You know what I'm saying? I knew better than that, but
of course,
my mom didn't raise no dummy. You know what I mean? Maybe silly, but not dumb.
As a kid, when I first seen it, I wouldn't even have thought of it being racist because I had no black people around me at the time except one person, and we called him Black Johnny, and he was a mixed race guy at school. And that wasn't until later on in my life after I seen Blazing Saddles. So I wouldn't have known it had anything to compare it to being racist. It was just funny. You know what I mean? I didn't know what racist was. Oh, how you doing, Flatside? Good to see you, bro. Good to see you, man. Thanks, dude. Thanks. Always a pleasure, man. Are you not meaning to be having a night off, Gaji? I dare see you just saying hello, dude. Nice one for turning up, bro.
Bestseller, Communion. That's the book there that came out years and years ago.
Ooh.
It also followed with a movie, Communion. Increasingly, I felt as if I were entering a struggle that might even be more than life and death. It might be a struggle for my soul, my essence, or whatever part of me might have reference to the eternal. There are worse things than death. I suspected. So far, the word demon had never been spoken among the scientists and doctors who were working with me. Alone at night, I worried about the legendary cunning of demons. At the very least, I was going stark raving mad. And that was from his...
And wouldn't you think that? Wouldn't you actually think that? I mean, you've seen the movie called The Entity, where the woman is, and it's based on a true story. It's based on a true story, and she's getting raped by this
very interesting
thing. And our man is there, who they're going to get down to it, and he gets thrown away. And and get in his place getting taken, and he ran. He was that scared. He was ran. I mean,
I would too.
exactly. Would like to think
Wouldn't
that's
you run like if something picked you up and you couldn't see it and something just grabbed hold of you and you knew that's what it, it felt like someone grabbing you? Yeah, that would scare the crap out of me.
and at the
I
end
would
of it,
probably,
when
I'd either pee my pants and fall and pass out, or I'd run. One of the two.
and at the end, where they thought they had maybe done something to maybe alleviate the situation, when it didn't really. She got home. I mean, it's probably just for Hollywood, but she comes in the door and it welcomes her home, saying, "Welcome home, CUNT." And that is just freaky stuff. I mean, that's the stuff that people are going through. Yes, that's been glamorized for Hollywood, but this is based on true experiences, So
I read the Amityville Horror, the book,
yeah,
and I was blown away that in the book they describe it as a true story, like this supposedly really happened.
but there was some,
the first book, that is, but I
yeah,
don't know about the sequels, but the first
there
book.
was
And I read it a couple of times, and it was terrifying. And when I thought about it, like if that happened to me and it really happened, like the way they said they saw it, that would scare the crap out of me. I would run too. I'd be hiding out.
Of course. I mean, I've never seen a ghost, and I don't believe in ghosts. But I dare say,
Well, you don't have to see a ghost to be haunted, though. You know what I'm saying? You don't necessarily have to see anything.
Of course not.
Yeah.
But that's what I'm saying. I've had feeling. That was my point. I've had feelings of pure terror, and for no reason. For no reason.
Right.
It's just you just feel scared. You just feel scared.
If you think
like a
about
panic
it,
attack.
a demon's just a spirit. So,
Yes.
like when we're talking about ghosts,
Aye.
I don't personally believe we're talking about dead relatives.
No.
I believe that's also demonic as well.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
Yeah.
That's what I'm saying. So if I was to see a ghost, straight away I'd think it's a demon. So hence I'd be even more scared. I'd be.
Yeah,
I mean,
that
not
would cast
now because knowing Jesus, but still seeing it is going to fear you. He's got to put some fear into you.
I don't know. I mean, I don't know. I don't think so. I think at this point in my life, I think it wouldn't scare me as much as you would expect, just because I already know they're there. I just don't sense them like I should, But I have sensed one before, and I'm telling you, if you think it scares you just to see a movie about it, like just try being in the room with one. It's an experience you won't forget. Let's put it that way.
Yeah.
You won't forget that experience.
I like what Jeff Hunter said there. Demons are trapped in. The word easy to let out, hard to put back. Yeah, they're trapped in the word, right? Easy to let out, hard to put back. Yeah, I get you there. I still think I'd be a little scared. I mean, I know in Jesus that I've got no reason to be, but these things still come to kill, steal, and destroy. They come to kill you. You know what I mean? That's what they're not there just to mess. Well, they are there to mess about you, but ultimately they're there for your death. You know what I mean? Even if it is just to trap you in a life of sin, so you die within your sin, It's still death, isn't it? At the end of the day.
Folks, transformation. I wondered if I might not be in the grip of demons. If they were not making me suffer for their own purposes or simply for their own enjoyment. Again, that's
even that for their own, not even a purpose. Not even, I mean, that probably is, but just for their own enjoyment. And our
they have free will too.
Yeah, that's it. That's it. Our enjoyment, just to what's the word? Not even just humiliate anything. Humiliate, petrify. Do you know what I mean? Terrify. Whatever you. It's to degrade you as well. And whatever degrading way they can, whatever derogatory way they can, they're going to do it in there. And it's scary just to think that, I suppose. But they're allowed to because they've got free will to, like you just said, Ryan.
Yeah, it's a scary thought, but it's true. That would be the most logical explanation for why they exist, right?
Aye, absolutely.
Whitley Strieber. I felt an absolutely indescribable sense of menace. It was hell on earth to be there in the presence of the entities, and yet I couldn't move, couldn't cry out, couldn't get away.
And the entities. I'm wondering if it's actually describing this actual person from the entity. I don't know.
Legion. It's talking about
yes.
Legion.
It could be talking about Legion now. Right.
I lay as still as death, suffering inner agonies. Whatever was there seemed so monstrously ugly, so filthy and dark and sinister. Of course they were demons.
Yep.
They had to be. And they were here, and I couldn't get away. Yet this is called the alien abduction experience.
I think he's getting that. I
hear that.
Why were my visitors so secretive, hiding themselves behind my consciousness? I could only conclude that they were using me and did not want me to know why. What if they were dangerous? Then I was terribly dangerous, because I was playing a role in acclimatizing people.
Just to play with you and manipulate you, and mess you about and all that. It's to see your uncomfortableness in your house. It must be thrilling for them to see that, And in our pain, they are satisfied. It seems awful.
To them. That's the book Transformation that those quotes came from. Whitley went on after publishing his books to be on the talk circuit around UFO conferences around the country and the world, promoting contact. After all of this that he's been through, he became a disciple for these entities, promoting contact for people that have never had the experience.
See, promoting it after being so scared by it, and he said it surely is demons, and then promotes it. The demons are getting what they want out of him, scare him to death, and get recruit other people to get scared to death. You know what I mean? Madness, isn't it? Madness.
Doesn't sound like something you want to have happen, though, does it? These are some other testimonies that I've worked with over the years. When I was 17, one night while laying on my bed in my parents' home, ready to fall asleep, my whole body became paralyzed. I could not move. All I could do was feel this overpowering fear. Eventually, I fell asleep.
Ooh. See, I've had experiences where, that's what I'm saying, it feels like, hold on, let me get rid of that, see if there's anything in there. No, there's not. It feels like you're being pulled, like you're pulling yourself, trying to drag yourself out of sleep, out of a dream or whatever, and you're getting pulled back in. And I've felt it where the pulling back in was stronger than me pulling out. And I've felt myself getting pulled back in. And it's a horrible feeling. It's like you're getting lost and like you can't come back. That's what it felt like to me. But eventually I just come out of it. I mean, these are different experiences from the paralyzed thing. These might have well just been dream things, but they were certainly scared. I was certainly scared of them. So who's to say it wasn't, They've got loads of things, ways of getting it, but again, we've always got Jesus. But you've got to have Jesus to have Jesus. You know what I mean? You've got to with Jesus to have Jesus. I mean, yes, if you call on Jesus at that point and that's your first calling on him, yeah, he'll help you, yeah. I mean, but isn't it better to be safe saying that you're with Jesus before you can call on him all the time? I think I'd rather be with him and be sure that I can call on him at any point, It's the only name it's demons flee at, I'm going to nip to the toilet, Michael, and play.
I awoke in the middle of the night. I immediately was fearful and sensed two dark beings at the end of my bed. The room had the most putrid odor I had ever smelled. I can only describe it as a smell of pure evil. I tried to scream for my husband, but my mouth would not move, and I was paralyzed. I then heard, telepathically, one being say to the other, "What do you want to do to her?" Since I heard them, I figured they could hear me, so I thought to them, "You have no right to be here." That was from Heather, another testimony. This one from Melody. I had always had this impeding thing on my life, like an invisible knapsack on my back. And it was then when I remembered the initial feelings of it all. It was like you are completely and hopelessly alone. And it's like nothing can save you. And the feelings that rushed over me from the presences was that of wanting full control and power over earth and life. Every little noise I hear in my house is them. Every spontaneous thing I hear is them. When I rest, the creaks in my house seem to have screams in them.
Wow.
When I'm more receptive to the
That's it as well. Like once you've had an experience like that, right, and you get feared by it, so scared by it, and then just say like later on, you've just got normal creaks going on in the house, the pipes are going, just the wind's going through the house, pure natural things. Creak houses, empty vessels make much noise, don't they? You know what I mean? Like empty houses make a lot of noise, sort of thing. So houses make sounds just like from these random things. So after experience this kind of thing, those normal things are going to be big old demons to you, even if it's not. And the demons will love that, even though they're not doing it. It's like, yeah, man, they're freaked out. They're freaked out, and it's not even us. It's just natural noises. You know what I mean? That's what I'm saying. So, yeah, best to be with Jesus, guys.
these things. I want to take a second here. When I first got into this research, up until this moment here, meeting these people, becoming a member of MUFON, meeting these abduction experiencers, I got into this whole
Roger says they're under the stairs. They're coming to take you away. Haha. They're coming to take you away. Haha. Oh, hee hee. That's what people used to say to me when I was a kid. They're coming to take you away. Singing that old song, like, yeah. They're not. Please don't let them come and take me away. Wow.
thing is what I would call myself an agnostic humanist.
Hey, Jeremy, bud. Good to see you, bro. Thanks for turning up. Always a pleasure.
I didn't believe in God. The only thing I believed in was making a living so I could support my son and raise him up. I didn't care about what some people believe important things in life. I just needed to get the job done and needed to move on. Plus, I needed an opportunity to party on the weekend to take away all the pressure from working during the week. That was my normal life until I got into this stuff.
What does it say? Yeah. What does it say to that? Wrong one. Oh, still the wrong one. Where's it gone? It slipped from me. That one. Goku says, for sure. Oh, wow. Still got it. So it keeps slipping. I wonder if somehow, perhaps, these demons feed off of fear. I mean, it doesn't say that biblically or scripturally or anything like that, but it wouldn't surprise me if that's a food of some sort of theirs. It wouldn't surprise me at this point. But it's not a scriptural thing. I don't think so, anyway. But I dare say
It could be like the Bible tells you not to have no fear, you know.
That's right. Yeah, well, I'll give you a spirit of timidity. That's right. So it could be quite easily could be. Absolutely.
As we started moving in, working with these people, I came across something that I didn't understand working with them. Even though they were dealing with this type of oppression in their lives, they were still seeking hope. They were looking everywhere for that hope to be able to help them deal with this. Nobody had that answer. The places that were most open to listening to these people were actually the metaphysical and New Age realm.
Yes, Sergio, good to see you, bro. Good to see you, man.
And what attracted them to that area was because even though this experience is traumatic, they had a sense of a spiritual connection that they couldn't quite put their finger on. And a lot of them had already been involved in New Age and metaphysical things prior to the experience, but they went back to their roots looking for answers because the New Age and the metaphysical realm is actually a spiritual realm, a spirit.
I agree. I don't know totally everything about New Age and all that stuff, but it's definitely a spiritual thing that doesn't come from God. You know what I mean? It's not a godly thing, and a lot of people think it is, you know, because of white witches, that kind of thing. White witch is no different from a black witch. You're tapping into forces that ain't of God, you know. So yeah, absolutely.
Spiritual study, and they felt that there could possibly be answers there. Well, Mufon warned me in the beginning not to be involved with the New Age metaphysical realm if I'm going to be doing investigations. He says, because we're doing this scientific investigation of this stuff. We can't deal with this French area and work with it all together. And no problem. I don't even know what you're talking about. I'd never been involved with New Age and metaphysics. I didn't know what the words were until I came across these people and that they were looking into it, trying to find ways to help themselves. Well, then I started.
JJ, just Jesus. Just Jesus. That's how you do it. But a lot of people need to know what that entails. A lot of people are willing, but just don't know. I mean, in the end, there's got to be no excuse, obviously. But that's part of the reason why, because they get told, you know, like witnesses, people will witness, Christians will witness, whatever they come to know about Jesus somehow, but there's got to be an excuse. But yeah, people just sometimes just don't know how. They think, yeah, well, Jesus, yeah, of course, but how? What do I do? What do I say? What do I believe? You know? So it's good to sort of like sometimes like that guy I did a thing on where he went to that church. He was a Christian himself, and he said the people coming out after Sunday service. He said, "Oh, I'd like to take a bit of time to talk about the gospel." Now, as far as they knew, he might have been an unbeliever, and somebody didn't believe in Jesus at all. And not one of them had time for him. Well, one did, but he ended up getting kicked off the premises. So he didn't really get to talk to him. So out of like 4 or 5 people, only one was willing to talk about the gospel. The rest wanted to get back for their Sunday dinner. You know what I mean? So we need to take time to talk to people about Jesus when we can. You know, if people ask, you know what I mean, who are we to say no? You know what I mean? We're denying them Jesus. Sort of thing. Unless you've got a medical emergency going on at the time or whatever. But you know what I'm saying. You know what I'm saying.
Thinking, well, on one hand, Mufon's telling me not to look at it, but yet they're trying to solve a puzzle. Over here, these people are having this experience, and this is part of the puzzle for them. So I had to make a choice, and I said, you know what? If I'm going to be an absolute objective investigator, then I've got to look at all of the pieces of the puzzle. No matter what they look like, I've got to take a look at why it's part of this phenomenon.
I said, Joe, keep showing the love and truth of Christ for sure. Without a doubt, without a doubt. Just the gospel, isn't it? It's all about Jesus in the end.
Why is that spiritual aspect leading people to the New Age metaphysical realm for answers? Why is it that attraction there? What do they have that they can offer these people? So I spent time in that realm working with these people and learning from them about the New Age metaphysical realm.
I bet you that's robot polisher that Lord just put up there. He always puts a robot polisher now, and I know so that robot polisher has put another one out today. So I bet it's robot polisher.
Not realizing that
Who?
I was opening
Oh, sorry.
myself up
Who's the-
also. a change happened. As I delve into studying the New Age and metaphysical realm, I was sucked in.
That happens.
It is very seductive. It's knowledge based. The whole
And it is true though, isn't it? When you like, even if you're covered in the blood of Christ, if you go down these rabbit holes, sometimes they can just be for research or anything, just out of curiosity. Sometimes, even though your intentions are good, you do get pulled in, and they are enticing. And I've been to the point where just before I come to believe in flat Earth, before that, going down some kind of rabbit hole, and to do with the Illuminati, I think it was, and then thinking to myself, oh well, I need to. I've been a week on this. I need to come out of it because, yeah, you know what I mean. You start thinking weird stuff and all that. You just don't want to be enveloped by it, encompassed by it all the time. And I remember when I stopped, and all I could do was think about it, going back to it. You know, even though at that point I probably learned as much as I was going to learn at that point, and I could feel the darkness of it, but wanting to go back to it. You know. So, yeah, absolutely true what you're saying there. Absolutely true. In my experience, anyway. Excuse me.
seduction is knowledge. The whole idea of the New Age metaphysical realm is to reach enlightenment, and that enlightenment comes through knowledge. The more you learn, the closer to enlightenment you become. That's the whole.
Yes, Roger, we wrestle not with blood, but not with flesh and blood, sorry, but with powers and principalities of the air. Absolutely, bro. Absolutely. I think it's one of the ones that me and Michael always use quite a lot is that.
Vision 6.
Yeah, absolutely. Along with a lot of other stuff in Vision 6. You know? Armor, all that kind of things. All good stuff in Vision 6.
Purpose.
Well,
I ended up.
All good stuff everywhere in the
as an investigator, changing my worldview. I went from an agnostic humanist to a spiritualist working with New Age metaphysical realm. What this was enabling me to do at the same time was to look at this phenomenon from another perspective.
It doesn't matter, Roger. It means the same thing. Whether you say principalities and powers or powers and principalities, it's much and such, you know? Much and such.
Perspective. When I first got into this realm as an agnostic humanist, I had a perspective that I looked at this phenomenon with. A belief system, a worldview specifically geared toward agnostic humanists. That's the way I saw this phenomenon. As I introduced myself into the New Age metaphysical realm, my worldview changed, and now I'm looking at it at a different perspective. So I've
With whatever topic it is, tinted glasses, isn't it? It's like when you're drinking your glasses, when other things look attractive that wouldn't usually look attractive to you. And when you have
That's called beer goggles.
Beer goggles, that's the one, yeah. And that's true. It's true. Once you got them tinted glasses on, then it tends to go that way.
had an opportunity to look at this
beer
phenomenon
goggle.
two ways.
Beer goggles, yeah, that's kind of. Have you ever? Yeah, you call it beer goggles as well, right?
Yes, sir. Yes, we do.
Yeah, cool.
Beer goggles are.
I wasn't sure if you were questioning what beer goggles were, or if you were just saying, yeah,
No.
beer goggles.
No, I was saying, yeah, that's what we call it, beer goggles. Like, you know, when you do stuff that you wouldn't normally do because you're drinking,
Absolutely.
beer goggles.
Absolutely.
Or you like a girl that's not pretty because you're drunk.
Absolutely. That's the one.
It's amazing what you can learn by looking at something from different perspectives. If I only look at this computer from this perspective, I only see what I believe this computer to be. If I was to move over.
That's a good point, and we say that all the time, even within scripture and flat earth. We say it all the time, and things like that. especially when it comes to scripture, like the Gospels. We say, well, why doesn't it line up with that? Why doesn't it line up with that? They're seeing it from different perspectives, from different viewpoints. They're not the same person. You know, they might say things differently or see things differently. That being the point. That's the point. It comes from 4 different people's perspectives. You know what I mean?
Over here, I see something that changes what I thought it was. If I move over here and look at it, I see something now. It makes me more aware of what this actually is.
Mm-hmm.
So that's what I mean by perspectives. These are some of the things that are involved in the New Age metaphysical realm. I walked right into all.
With that a bit, man. That is wow.
Uh-huh.
Metaphysical Mondays, Metaphysical Chapel of Life, University of Sedona, Spirit, Mind, Body, Higher Consciousness Education. Wow. Hold on, let's get us away. With your psychic services business, Kundalini for beginners. Wow.
Oh, wow.
Unbelievable for beginners, and you're on about Kundalini. Wow, man. Unbelievable. That stuff, that's demonic, dude. Completely. Unbelievable. Kundalini for beginners, eh? Wow. Amazing.
Martini, what?
All of them.
Sorry, which one?
I said martini.
Oh,
You want a martini? Try martini.
Wow. It's LSD, methamphetamine. I mean, crazy stuff.
I got to the point where I was teaching metaphysics myself. To the point to where I was able to go talk to those Christian folks and convert them over, that their beliefs were wrong. They should have been more grounded in what they thought they believed in.
Well, and I bet you he managed to win a few over as well, because a lot of Christians ain't rooted in Christ at all. It's just to some people, it's just a word to them. They were grown up. They grew up as a Christian, you know. It's a contradiction, like, but people say that, don't they? And they believe it. They're covered just because they grew up in a Christian family.
Mm-hmm.
I spent about 4 years into the New Age metaphysical realm, at the same time working in the UFO realm.
Nice, Mr. Super Sidewinder. I'll look forward to that coming out, dude. Haha, nice.
At the end of that 4 years, or during that 4 years, another change happened. Right near the end, there was a couple cases I was working on and going into the fall of 1996. There was something different about these 2 cases. I knew that there was some dark aspects to working with this experience with people. But these 2 cases we were working on at the time are...
I mean, we're 50 minutes in. At least we're getting through it a bit more than we did last week. Last week we got about 18, 20 minutes in. So at least it's getting a bit to the meat. So when we get to it next week, it'll be less like... I mean, I haven't found it tedious at all. I find it fine, but...
I think it's interesting.
Yeah, I do. But yeah, at least we'll be into the meat next week. Hey, John, good to see you, man. 2 weeks without a drinky poo for me. Rehab finally worked. Ha! When you were young and you smashed out your half-piped. You've got away with words, dude, I'm telling you, John. But good to see you. And you know you're always shouting Khan, or you can shout Khan tonight.
He's here.
He's here. Bless you, bro. Nice one for turning up, man.
actually causing dread in us as investigators ourselves.
There it is. There it is.
I had a girlfriend at the time that was working with us in the realm. And it was good that she was working with us, because there's a lot of personal things that come out from experiencers, and most of your experiencers are female. So there's a lot of sexual parts of the testimony that it's much better if I have a female investigator getting that part of the information. So she worked with us in that manner. But she was a professing Christian. I was a crystal rolling New Ager. but she was a Christian. Odd combination, but we agreed not to challenge each other on our beliefs, but to have a good time together and do our research together. She saw that we were having trouble with these two cases, so she offered to help. She pulled me aside and she said, I think you're dealing.
So I was just like, I was just noticing the element people are talking about, like putting the link in chat. I think they're talking about me. I did stop putting the link in chat just in case. But the thing is, I see them backstage, and if they don't show their face, if I don't know them, then I won't let them in. And even if I did let them in, I've got a setting here like that. I just do that, and the only me and Michael would see if it was a porn bomber or whatever. So I could have this setting like that. So yeah, I'm not going to stop doing what I do just because of these idiots. You know what I mean? I did decide to, but then I decided against it. I thought, like, if I can use this setting here where I can let them in and it'll be on this setting. So if they do try it, nobody's seeing it. Nobody's seeing it. You know what I mean? So yeah. So yeah, I'm not bothered, Joe, or
How dare you?
Jeff, it was, I think. I'm not too bothered about that at the minute. But like I say, I did think about stopping, putting the link there and just giving it out as and when. But why should I have to stop what I do? Yeah, no, I'll just not let them in if I don't know who it is. Simple. Anyway.
Was something very powerful here and very disturbing, and I don't think you're ready to handle it. And I said, what are you getting at? She says, I think you need some protection in this realm when you're getting into areas like this. I reach in my pocket and I got this little pouch I carry around with all my little gemstones in it. This one protects me from this, and this one protects me from
they've
this.
shown us.
They worked pretty good for quite a while, but they weren't working now. And I said, well, what do you got? And she grabs a Bible and hands it to me. She says, it's in here. I said, no. We talked about this. And I said, I don't think that.
And someone hands you a Bible straight away. It's like, no. I have nothing to do with that Jesus freaks. No way. Isn't that the reaction, though, if you're not a believer? It's always the reaction, isn't it? No, you're mad. You're a Jesus freak. No way. Are you mental? Wonder why that is the world view when it was so normal at one point to be a follower of Jesus, you know?
People are happy to use his name as a swear word, though, aren't they?
Absolutely. No, they've got no
well, I don't believe in Jesus, but then every 5 minutes, Jesus Christ, you know.
Absolutely.
Keep saying his name, but you don't believe in him.
Yeah, that's it. Just to try and insult him, you know. It's the same as the atheists that they don't believe in any God whatsoever, but then they start raging at someone. Well, God lets this happen. God lets that happen. Who are you raging at, dude? Who let what happen? It's your universe that let it happen, not God. Craziness.
Bible has anything to do with this research field that I'm in. She says, I think it does, and I think you should take a look at it. And I said, no, you have to give me something else to help me out. And she says, well, wait a minute. You're the one always bragging to be the most open-minded, objective investigator in the world, aren't you?
Mm-hmm.
All right, I've been had.
Well,
I better sit and listen or I'm going to be in trouble. So we sat. She opened the Bible up. She read a section to me dealing with spiritual warfare.
That's quickly before he reads that one, so everyone here would say. Johnny says, we had so many encounters out fishing. Some mates refused to fish with us at night. UFOs flew exactly like a modern RC drone. Anal probe proves they were from the Navy. Dude, you're nuts, man. Oh, dude, he's mad. He's obviously not. And I think he doesn't mind me saying that.
Well, when you know it, you know it.
Well, that's it.
That's what a Christian term was. And I thought, wow, if that protection is real, I want that protection. This was November of 1996. She told me, you have to do something to get this protection. Okay, tell me what it is.
Okay, Roger, man, I'll be on in the morning. I wasn't on this morning because my head was splitting and that, and then I left it till the afternoon. My head was still splitting. I thought, no, I'll just have to go on at night time. I wasn't missing the night one though. But yeah, I'll be on in the morning, dude. Just with the same one I was going to do this morning. So yeah, if I don't talk to you later, dude, I'll talk to you in the morning. It'll be your later on or whatever. Bless you, man. Nice one for turning up.
I did it. I made a profession of faith for Jesus Christ in November of 1996. I wanted that protection. My life changed. Guess what? I have a new perspective.
Good.
Number 3, I'm now able to see the same thing from 3 different perspectives.
Oh,
So I didn't come at this as a Bible.
that was a nice little edit, wasn't it? 3 different perspectives and the camera pan in 3 different perspectives.
What?
Nice little edit. Nice little edit. You wouldn't have expected it from a video like this, just to edit that in, but fair play, fair play.
Thumping researcher that's been a Christian all my life. 1996, when I made a profession of faith for Jesus Christ and became a Christian, I was 42 years old. I had a whole life of bad things that I did up until that time. That's a whole nother story, though. Well, I'm still an investigator, I'm still a researcher, and I'm still curious. So I'm like, all right, I'm a Christian. What's a Christian?
You need to be careful when you say things like curious nowadays. I'm telling you.
I want to know.
I get it.
If that book is real and it seemed to have done a major job on me, I want to know more about what it says. I want to know, I want to know, I want to know. That was the way I was. I'm still that way. I find something new, I want to know about it. I'll jump on it until I can't find any more. That's part of being a researcher.
Sounds like Ryan. Self-admitted, wasn't it, Ryan? That's self-admitted.
Sometimes,
I think we're all the same to
Sometimes I
some
do.
degree. Yeah, I think we're all the same to some degree. Sometimes you need to take time out, though. Sometimes, not you. I mean,
Sometimes I need to know things, though. You know.
that as well. That as well.
Sure.
Absolutely, absolutely.
Researcher, investigator. Well, one of my other partners, the partner that helped me form CE4 in the beginning, he happened to be a professing Christian.
Okay, Sandro, cool. As long as it's not like 7 hours long, that's cool. Because yeah, it's cool. I'll play that with that, and then I don't know what it is you're giving me yet, but yeah, sound. And I always play out Mr. Super Sidewinder, so I'll be playing out with Mr. Super Sidewinder. And I think tonight it's Lucky Haskins. Actually, what's the name of the song? Just so I know in my own head for later. Let me see. Oh, it's called Rake. I don't need to go and look. I remember it's Rake. It's Rake. Yeah. So yeah. As long as it's not 7 hours long, dude, no problem. I don't. What is it about anyway? Let us know.
And he says, well, I got this friend that works at the Space Center that has this Bible study course. It's on VHS tape. It's 2 hours at a time.
Oh, nice tune recorded from Saturday. Cool. I'll play out with that, and then Mr. Super Silenders, dude. Bless you, man.
Time, and there's 14 of them, and we can watch it over a 2-week period. And I said, you know what? That'd be great. So I can learn a whole bunch real quick. He says, yeah, more than 50 Sundays, 50 years of Sundays. He says, there's a lot of information in there. I've been through it. And I said, okay. Come to find out, I was working at the boat company still at the time. And I had 2-week break coming off at Christmas time. So I said, let's see if he's open to sitting down and watching.
I noticed that, Mr. Super Sidewinder. I noticed that. Oh yeah, I forgot. I need to give the. I just noticed you emailed me on the 13th or something about a harmonica on Amazon for Vicky because she showed some interest in it. I think so. Yeah, I haven't given it her yet, but I totally forgot to tell her. I'll give her it later, probably tomorrow because she's in bed now.
All that during Christmas, and we'll take one a night, sit through it, and learn as much as we can. No problem, I'll find out. Well, we got it scheduled, went to the guy's house, sat in his living room.
No, I can't turn up the speed. Not from within the studio. Can only turn it up if I'm sharing from YouTube, and this is sharing through a video file. So no, it doesn't give you that option.
Plugged the first VHS tape into the TV, started through it. 4 or 5 days went by, come over again, sitting on the couch, pops the tape in. The guy doing the teaching, he says, we're going to talk about spiritual warfare. Oh, there's that term again. Man, that's a cool sounding thing, spiritual warfare. I don't know what it is, but it sure sounds cool.
To be honest, it must be a personal thing, because to me, he's talking quite normally, a normal rate. To me, it's not slow at all. I don't know. People must be used to different kind of speeds, I suppose.
And that was what the lesson for that night was going to be. And he starts out by reading this chapter out of the book of
Laters, Mr. Super Saiyan Binder, man. Nice one for popping by, dude.
Ephesians in the New Testament, chapter 6, verse 12. For we wrestle not against flesh and blood, but against principalities, against powers, against the rulers of the darkness of this world, against spiritual
There you go, Roger. There you go.
wickedness in high places. Something happened. I said, stop that video. They looked at me like, what? Stop the video. Why? What's wrong? You guys are not going to believe this. Why? What happened? I said, when he was reading that verse, I was shown something. What? I said, just listen. I said, as he read that verse, this vision of an alien gray came up in front of my face between me and the TV. And it morphed into the most horrible thing that I've ever seen.
Demonic, man.
In that moment, I knew that what we had been dealing with was wrong. And it wasn't what it appeared to be.
Yep.
If this God is real, who I just accepted, if his word is real, that I've just accepted, then maybe what I was just shown is real.
Yeah. Well
I
deducted.
said, guys,
That's a decent info. Well deducted.
I don't want to be part of this UFO stuff anymore. This is not something I should be part of. And I said, I'm going to put it away. My partner said, you know what? I'll join you. So we agreed we would put it away. A few weeks went by and I get this nagging, small, still voice. I don't know where it come from. Nobody told me I hear voices or anything. I didn't hear any in the New Age.
Yeah, I like the way he tells it. He tells it in quite detailed, but not hard to understand. And it's at a rate that I think it's perfect. I mean, I don't find it boring at all. I mean, no one said that today. I'm just saying. It was said last week, but yeah, I find it very interesting, and I think he's getting to the meaty stuff as well.
You know, a lot of people said they did, but it was, you're not done yet. What do you mean you're not? I'm not done yet.
Because he hasn't found out what they actually are completely. Maybe just a guess.
You need to take this, what you've learned, back to where you came from. I said, maybe this is God telling me this. I said, God, if this is you telling me I need to take this back to where I came from, I can't do that. I said, the New Age metaphysical realm and the UFO realm don't believe the Bible to be the inerrant word of God.
Right.
They believe it to be stuff written by who knows who these guys were way back when, all at different times. But they don't believe it to be of the creator of the universe. I said, you got to give me something else, better than that. I thought, yeah, that'll hold him off. So I'm moving on to being a Christian man. Well, that didn't last long either. That little voice comes back a little later and says,
Said, yeah, that's fair play. That's fair play for that, to be honest. I'm just going to read that. I won't put it up on the screen, but I'll just read it out. I remember being hard on Russian vids. He's talking to Jono. Am I wrong about passing judgment? I remember telling you he was a shill. There's no way to prove either way. Just wanted to come clean, bro. Fair play to you for that, Sergio. Because to me, I've always thought he wasn't. So fair play. I've always thought you were wrong about that. Like you say, though, there's no way to prove either way. So, fair play to you for coming out clean about that, dude. Bless you, man. Bless you. Also about Brian Staveley, Mikey Smith, and Michael. Am I wrong about that too? I don't think you accused Michael of being a shill.
I don't remember that.
I don't think you did, dude. I think maybe there was the number of his name thing, I think, but I don't think that was you. But if you did, then fair play. No, fair play to you for coming clean about that, dude. That's nice.
Well, I've got to tell you, I am a shill.
Can you imagine all these people coming out and actually saying they are actually all shills now? Oh, damn, I should have listened to myself. Nah, fair play, bro. Fair play. No, I know you didn't. I was going to say I didn't remember that one. Bless, man. Bless.
you already have what you need. And I'm like, no, I told you that's not going to work. You already have what you need. So I went and talked to my partner that also agreed to quit with me, and he'd been a Christian a long time. I said, you ever hear from God? Yeah. I said, really? He says, yeah. He says, you better listen. I said, what? He says, he's a big man. He says, you better listen. I said, well, let me tell you what I seem to be hearing. I said, it seems we have something already that is important that we could take back and help people. What? I said, I'm just telling you what I'm hearing. If we already have it, what do we already have? He says, well, we have testimonies of people that have gone through the abduction experience. I said, well, maybe it's in there. So we went back and looked at some of the recorded interviews we'd done. I had a big camcorder, VHS camcorder I used to carry around, and we'd set it up on a tripod and film the people when they were telling us their stories. Well, we got the one, threw it in and listened to it, and I'm like, I don't remember this one. And then my partner says, I vaguely remember it. Well, as the guy's going through his story, something fascinating happened.
No, I ain't got much to say because I'm engrossed listening to him, to be honest.
Okay.
I'm engrossed.
What happened?
Not saying anything, but I'm engrossed listening to him at the minute.
Listen, if you like, this has got another channel. I can't remember the name of it. Like, I'd have to go through my subs to find it. But he interviews people who've had different experiences. Like,
that'd be cool.
There's this one Australian guy who has an experience with Yahweh. That's like Australian Bigfoot.
Right.
But it also ties in with like an alien type abduction experience as well. Like, it's quite interesting.
It'd definitely be interesting. Yes, I do admit last week he was a bit slow getting into it, but if you just bear with it, you know what I mean, then it's what he says is perfect. I mean, I think it's engrossing. Fair play to him. I like it.
Before I get to that, remember, I'm still an abduction researcher.
Mm-hmm.
And we decided, since now that I'm a Christian looking at this from a new perspective, if we're going to still work with this UFO abduction stuff, let's put a hypothesis out there. Let's go for some real research of our own. So, being a brand new Christian, I put out the question, are Christians being abducted by aliens? I didn't see any evidence saying they weren't or they were.
It's a good question, though. It's a very good question.
Hmm.
All I saw was other researchers saying this reaches across all beliefs, all, you know, all cultures, everything else. I said, so let's just put something simple out there and get a definite answer. This is the beginning of 25 years of research. We asked the question, we got an answer. Yes and no.
Well, yeah, that's fair enough. Some it happens to, some it doesn't. Of course, it's got. I mean, demon. Whether a Christian can be inhabited by a demon, it's a different thing. I don't think they can. Light and dark, we don't live in the same place. But there's certainly demons still attack. They still try and attack for sure. You know.
It's not kind of what we were looking for. We needed a yes or no. But what we found was yes and no, and that totally surprised us. The reason it's yes and no, the two answers, because we found walk the walk Christians, those having a true personal relationship and trying to walk in Jesus' footsteps, those that walk the walk. And we found the talk Christians, those that espouse Jesus Christ as their Savior, but were not living in a personal relationship with Him.
Right.
It's one thing to say you believe Jesus Christ is Lord and Master. It's another thing to live under Him.
To walk it. Yeah.
Two different things. Walk the walk, talk the talk. That's what we found. The walk Christians.
And that's a lot of them come under like your Sunday Christians or Christians that just profess it because they just believe it, but they've got nothing to do with the Bible, no relationship with God, and just taking other people's word for things, just taught it, or just because their parents are it, or whatever, you know. Yeah. So yeah, walking the walk and actually not at all. Just having the name.
None of them were in the experiencer group. But the talk.
Just 1 minute. So you've seen a Yowage on her?
Oh.
Wow.
Oh.
Crazy.
Jumped in. Let's actually put it up so you can read that. He said, "We have Yowies, redheads and dreads. Seen one getting firewood. My dog wouldn't get out of the car. I jumped in and hooked it out of the left my saw and gear behind. Thing wasn't huge, but spooky as fuck." I can imagine, dude. That sounds funny. That sounds funny, but it was probably scary at the time. Wow, man. Wow. Definitely. That's what I'm saying. People have these experiences, you know?
People have seen them in UK.
Yeah, well, I've heard that as well, man. I'd love to see something like that. But I suppose I'm not in the right environment, you know? If I suppose meaning you don't know. I suppose things like that could happen in the city, but more likely happen in a rural area, isn't it? You know, where they're not seen as much, I suppose. Wow, man. That's amazing, honestly.
Talk the talk. We found Christians that were abduction experiencers that were the talk Christians. That's why the two answers.
Oh, wrong one.
Back to that case we came across. Bill D. This was his testimony. This is the one we popped into the VHS camcorder.
Mm-hmm.
In his story, he's telling us, I thought I was having a satanic experience, that the devil had gotten a hold of me and had shoved a pole up my rectum and was holding me up in the air. So helpless. I couldn't do anything.
Wow.
I said, Jesus, Jesus, help me, or Jesus, Jesus, Jesus. When I did,
wow, I couldn't even imagine. I'm clenching thinking about that. It's awful. Wow.
there was a feeling or a sound or something that either my words that I had thought or the words that I had tried to say or whatever had hurt whatever was holding me up in the air on this pole. And I felt it like it was withdrawn, and I fell.
Oh,
I hit the bed because it was like I was thrown back in bed. I really can't tell. But when I did, my wife woke up and asked why I was jumping on the bed. This man had had numerous sighting
that's crazy. That's awful. Couldn't imagine it. Wow.
experiences. He had had prior abduction experiences. He had just recently become a Christian himself. As a new believer, learning to be a Christian, starting to go to church, is when this experience went nasty. The earlier experiences he had memories of did not seem like this, but this one turned really bad. And because he was a new believer, and he was being taught in this new Sunday school that if you ever have trouble, call out to Jesus, he'll be there for you. It's the only thing that he could think of in his mind to do.
Right.
He stopped an experience. That was unheard of in the abduction research realm. Because when we started working with these people, I made it a point that all of us working with CE4 would consume every book, video, conference lecture material that we can get our hands on from the leading researchers so that we would not harm these people we were working with any more than what they had been harmed. We needed to educate ourselves with all of the prior research that had been done, and we had done that. And in the research, the top leading researchers at the time said that it was not possible to stop an abduction experience. They were also still asking the question, why was this even happening to certain people? They had never found a commonality between people to understand why.
And that's the thing, it's got to be confusing. If you can't find the commonality why it's happening, it's like, what the hell? What's going on? Scary. Not knowing what's going on in your life and you having these experiences. But if you get to know that there's a spiritual side of things, then it makes more sense. Not that it makes it any bit easier, but it makes more sense.
What was connected between these people that claimed this experience? So two things. One, it can't be stopped. And why is it happening to these people in the first place? I didn't know if this particular experience was real or not. I needed to know. Did I have something just a fluke? Maybe he was misremembering it? Or was I on to something that was really important? Because if this was real, this was something I could take back to where I came from. This is what was being referred to as you already have what you need. If this was real, this was huge.
Mm.
Mind-blowing for the whole research community. So I went and I contacted the leading researchers, all the phone numbers I could find. And I called them on the phone and I said, guys, I got a very unusual case here. I just want to share it with you and get your ideas on it. I would share Bill's case right from the time where his dogs were barking in the yard before he went to bed. He saw lights over the tree line from where his house was that puzzled him. And then this experience right after he went to bed. Told him the whole story. As soon as I got to the point where he was freed from the experience, before they told me anything else, they asked me to would I go off the record with them. Off the record means I can tell you what they said, but I can't tell you who said it. I have kept their anonymity, all of those researchers I talked to, for 20 plus years. That's not my job as MUFON. We offer anonymity. If you come to me and you want to share your experience, but you don't want it to go past me, or you don't want your name mentioned, I have to offer that. We're bound by law to do that. The press does the same thing. They have confidential witness. They got to keep it. Okay? Confidential source, whatever it's called. Same thing we do with our research. I said, guys, I got no problem here. I just want an understanding of what I'm working with. The answer that I got from them wasn't just one answer. It turned out to be two. Why, I don't know. First answer that they said was, we've come across cases like that. I said, really? They said, yeah, we've come across cases where people reported the experience stopped when they quoted the Lord's Prayer or hummed or sung a hymn, Christian hymn, or prayed or called out to Jesus. And I went, wait a minute. All of your research says that the experience can't be stopped, but you're telling me you've had cases like this? I said, why are you not sharing this information? Why are you saying something totally?
No, testify to that, man. Definitely saying nothing's stopping it, but if there's something actually stopping it and you're not saying, then you're depriving people of stuff. Definitely. See it.
Opposite of it? Well, we didn't know what to make of it. And you know, I would have been fine with that answer, but it was that second one that puzzled me. And that one got me. Because they said, we were afraid to go there because it might affect our credibility in the UFO realm. Do you understand what I've just explained happened here? These people are withholding information. The people that we're relying on for the truth are withholding information from us.
And I'll leave it there. I'll leave it there. That gives us it's on an hour and 10, so that gives us about 49 minutes or something for next week. We got further into it than I thought we would, but because we got a bit engrossing, I think.
I told you it was interesting.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, I understood where people were coming from last week. I mean, it was slow, but but the views said it for me. I was like, oh, people liked it, obviously. So I was like, I'm carrying on with it. I'm glad I did. I mean, I was interested what he had to say, but it did start off slow. But he's getting right into it now. I think it's brilliant. Fantastic. Luca, not interested. Please go away. I don't believe you're Luca anyway. It's a different thing. Go away. You're just a porn bomber, whoever it is. It's not Lucas. It's not. See, I don't think that's Luca at all. And if it is Luca, I'm not letting you in anyway, dude. Like I say, love you, but I'm not having any derailment. I'm right at the end of the show anyway, but you know what I mean. I'm not having you in there again, dude. Sorry, man. Sorry. Nice one, guys. Bless you for turning up. I thought it was really good, man. I thought it was really good. I mean, so an hour and 10. Sandro, put your link in now because I'm going to play out with both yours and Mr. Super Sidewinders. Yeah, I don't know what we say about it. I got really engrossed into it, but probably the same conclusion every time. It's got to be it's demons without a doubt. And right. I love it. I'm loving his testimony. How we got there. You know what I mean? I think it's great, man. I think it's great, and I dare say there's a lot more to it in the last 40 odd minutes to go. I think. Nice one, Sandra. Let's get that up. So an hour and 10. I shouldn't forget that. Remove. Yeah, that was a good idea, Michael. Nice one for that. It would have been good as a watch party, but I think it's just as good for this as well. Even though, like, got through more of it because I ended up getting that engrossed in it, wasn't talking as much, which is good because then I'm getting 3 shows out of it instead of 6. You know what I mean? This is brilliant. I keep calling it a show. I mean, stream. I shouldn't call it a show. I don't like that terminology, even though I call flats as a show. But I just like the terminology stream. You know? I'm not trying to put on a show.
Yeah, I'm not that keen on the show.
No. It just came to me, sort of thing. So yeah, it's not show. I mean, stream. Right, where is it? There it is. Get it up, Sandro. So this is you playing, Sandro, take it. Right, okay, let's pause that. Yes, it may be. Oh, what's that one? Oh, that's Logo Polisher. Okay, right. That one, that's the one. Right, let's make it bigger. Oh, hold on. Yeah, link's already in there, obviously. Sandro, dead south in hell, I'll be in good company. Cover. Excellent. You are like. And I'll share it afterwards, dude. Let's listen to this. Go for it. Bluegrass.
Dead love couldn't go no further. Proud of and twisted back. Push of a little bruised and battered. Oh, Lord, I ain't coming home with you. My life's a bit more colder. Dead wife is what I told her. Brass now sticks to my shoulder. Oh, baby, I don't know what I'm gonna do. I see my red head, mask bed, t-shirt, queen be my squeeze. Say smells, tells, hells, bells, misspells, knock me on my knees. In hurt, blood, squirt, stuff, stuck on me in a tree. I'm gonna count down 3 round in hell, being good company. That's why I put you no further. Oh, I ain't coming home with you. My life's a bit more colder. Dead wife is what I told her. Brass knife sticks to my shoulder. Oh, baby, I don't know what I'm gonna do. I see my red head, mask bed, t-shirt, queen be my squeeze. The stench smells, tells, hells, bells, misspells, knock me on my knees.
Brilliant.
In her blood, squirt, stuff, shed me in a tree. I'm gonna count down 3 round in hell, being good company. In hell, being good
There you
company.
go. Somewhere over there.
In hell, being good company.
Hey.
Brilliant.
Nice.
Awesome.
Nice. I like it, Sandro, man.
That banjo were brilliant.
Oh, bye, Ryan, by the way. I just realised you went. Yeah, excellent, man. Excellent. I wasn't sure if it was going to be you or not, but when the camera panned up, I was like, yeah, Sandra. Nice, man. Excellent. Honestly, fantastic, man. And it doesn't matter you missed a couple of lines. No, it doesn't matter at all. I just noticed you said that a bit further up. Yeah, listen. Everybody missing. Come on. The best have been out there, Nirvana and all that, and missing lines. they get by with it, man. Doing it live. It happens, man. It was all good. All good. Loved it, man. But we'll finish it off with Mr. Super Sidewinder. I was going to say, Jeff, he already has. I was going to say, Jeff, put your link in because Jeff's done another reading, second reading on Joshua that he did. I didn't even know he did it until I seen in Element earlier that he put his link there and I went to it and it's Joshua, which I was going to say I haven't read yet, which I haven't read and I haven't listened to yet. That's what I mean. But I'll listen to that tonight, Jeff. But yeah, I think that's Jeff's link in there that he's already put in there for his second reader, Joshua. So go listen to that, guys. Excellent. That was cool. Honestly, Sandro, bless you for that, man. Let's get Mr. Super Sidewinder up. And Lucky Haskins. And then we're done for the night.
Spud straggles in right at end.
A Spud the Straggler. Oh, Spud, did you get your video from Vicky? If you didn't, it's on our channel for you. But I dare say you've seen it, dude. Dare say you've seen it. Right, here we go. Lucky Haskins and Mr. Super Sidewinder. In no particular order. Just together. There we go.
Well, I used to wait and run with the moon. I lived like a rake and a young man, and I covered my lovers with flowers and wounds. My laughter the devil would frighten. In the sun she would come and beat me back down, but every cruel day had its nightfall. And I'd welcome the stars with whining guitars, full of fire and forgetful. My body was sharp and the dark air clean, and outrage my joyful companion. And whispering women, how sweet did they seem, kneeling for me to command them. And time was like water and I was the sea. I wouldn't have noticed it passing, except for the turning of night into day, and the turning of day into cursing. Well, you look at me now and don't think I don't know what all your eyes have been saying. Does he want us to believe all those ravens and lies, or is it tricks that his brain has been playing? A lover of women, and he can't hardly stand. He trembles, he's bent, and he's broken. Well, I've fallen, it's true, but I say to you, hold your tongues until after I've spoken. Well, I was taking my pride in the pleasures I'd known, and I laughed and said I'd be forgiven. My laughter turned round, eyes blazing, and said, my friend, we're holding a wedding. And I buried my face, but it spoke once again. The day and the night were a binding. And now the dark air is like fire on my skin, and even the moonlight is blinding. And now the dark air is like fire on my skin, and even the moonlight is blinding.
Excellent. Excellent. Mr. Sidewinder and Lucky Haskins. Always a pleasure to play the music. Again, unlimited supply, and he's putting more new ones up every now and again, every week, and that. So I got to premiere him and Richie, from 007, before he even put it on his own channel. He had it unlisted, so he let me premiere it and put it on his own channel afterwards. It was always a pleasure. I mean, and I didn't know Richie's song, man, until I was on Mr. Super Sidewinders, and then I seen the Richie was there, me and 007. I'm like, oh, it's Richie, sort of thing. And then I went to Richie's channel and he's live playing guitar. I'm like, oh, blooming it. So I went and said to him that I'm live now and I'm going to play out with you, Mr. Super Sidewinder. So I got a couple of subs from him who come over from him, Esther and someone else. She came over the other day. She came over yesterday, I think. No, yesterday, Sunday. She came over for the Sunday sermon day. We have a watch party on Sunday. Just have a Sunday sermon. I try not to say anything, but I end up saying a few things. But in general, it's a kind of watch party on Sunday. Because I think it's fitting, like on Sunday, just have a sermon and just pick a sermon and sit and watch it. You know what I mean? Like, I think it's cool. So yeah, that was cool to get some subs from him, and vice versa. Some of us went over there and subbed to him. You know what I mean? So Richie's cool. He's got away with words. He does swear a lot, but he's cool. Nice one, guys, for turning up. Nice one, and nice one panel. There's only Michael left. There was a load here when I first came out. Jeff and everybody. Now it's just me and Michael. Bless you guys for turning up. Nice one, guys, in chat. Nice one for the panel. Anything to say, Michael?
No, I'm tired.
He's thinking. Don't blame you. You've been working hard, man. Hard. But everybody go and watch Jeff's second reading of Joshua, man.
Yeah.
I'm going to do that. Bless you guys. Here the sunset's free. It's free.
Indeed.
Ta-ra.